Coming to you live from the Compton Family Ice Arena and Lefty Smith Rink in Notre Dame, Indiana. We bring you this special broadcast on the Regional Radio Sports Network with the South Bend Irish Rovers 12U team taking on the Skokie Flyers in NIHL action. Along with my color partner Christian Jobert, I'm Nick Duranick, coming to you on what's been a pretty snowy commute for some of these fans, getting ready to come in and see some great hockey here at the Compton. And Christian, it's the last home game here coming in for the Rovers right now. So you take a look at the NIHL standings. They are just outside of the top 6 right now with 10 points, but they're playing a Skokie team right now that has been struggling a little bit, but they're 3 points above them. So it's a must-win situation right now for these Rovers if they are looking to get back into the NIHL playoffs.
And it definitely is a must-win situation for them. Not very many NIHL games remaining on the schedule. And especially, Nick, if you look back at their last 5 games that these Rovers have played, 2-3 in the last 5 games, starting off with a 4-1 loss to the Evanston Wildcats at Evanston Ice Center. That game, from the notes that we have been given, was a very undisciplined game, lots of penalties taken, which really doesn't create a whole lot of offensive capabilities for these young players. That loss was also followed by a 3-1 loss against the Naperville Sabres at Naperville, so that's 2 road losses in a row. The Rovers came out flat and sluggish that game, being their second road game in a row. The speed of the Sabres actually cost them to take a lot of penalties. Colton Donzie, however, played extremely well, 23 saves. Few had no business. He had no business at all making. And the lone goal of the game was scored by Jack Uchuk with a late goal with 1 second left in the third period to spoil the Sabres shutout. The Rovers actually got back in the win column with a 5-1 win over the Jaguars 2 team here at the Compton Family Ice Arena. The Rovers came out very fast. Goal scored on the second shift by Gavin Taylor, who snapped a goal in from the top of the circle to give the Rovers the 1-0 lead. That was followed by a Joel Coquit goal scored on a slick backhander shorthanded made by a pass from Sully Hauser. And that actually made the score 3-0 coming off of a faceoff. The Jaguars coach had to take a timeout. No shots were allowed in that first period by the Rovers. The Jaguars ended up scoring on their first shot of the game to make the score 3-1. And again, the goaltender played extremely well, 10 saves in that one for the 5-1 win. That game was then followed by a loss at the MB Ice Arena in Chicago to the Chicago Stallions. They gave up a goal on the first shift of the game, and then the Stallions went into defensive mode. They played the best positional defensive game, which, from what we've been told, the Stallions are the best defensive team in the NIHL League. And that was also added to that was a phenomenal game played by Colton Donzie in net. They just didn't get any run support to back the 1-0 loss. And finally, their last game was an 8-2 win against Evanston, the most complete game of the season mentioned by Coach Jobert, and that pretty much covers the last 5 games of this Rovers season.
Again, just recapping the NIHL standings coming into this game, the Irish are just on the outside, peeking in at 10 points coming into this with a 3-6-4 record. Skokie right above them, 3 points ahead with a 6-7-1 record at 13 points. And then going on from there, the Naperville Sabres also tied with Skokie in that same respect. The Hawks above them with 15 points. Glenview 1 point above them at 16, and then 2 teams that have already clinched playoff spots and still fighting for that top seed spot are the Jaguars and the Stallions, and they are at 22 points respectively as well. Clock is reset. We're getting set to drop the puck here. The officials in this game today include Bruce Kniller and Lucy Van Kula. As some fans have been able to make it out, as we mentioned a few minutes ago, a little bit of snow coming down here in Notre Dame. It's been kind of an ongoing thing here for the past couple of days as we're getting ready for some big snows here in South Bend. If you're watching here, the Rovers are going to be going from right to left. and the Skokie Flyers from left to right. Opening faceoff is underway, won by Skokie, and plays in the neutral zone and put over the blue line, but taken over by the Rovers. Tripped up there on the near boards and taken in possession once again by Skokie. Looking to put a pass into the slot, but taken back by the Rovers, and we will go the other way. A pass into the neutral zone. Looking for Ben Nevela, but unfortunately was just a little too hot for him, as the Flyers will take back into the neutral zone. And Ben Nevela picks it up at the red line. He's trying to go forward with it, but then broken up there by the Flyers. And we have number 3 there for the Skokie Flyers, Anthony Lazzaroni, who was trying to take it in there, but quickly picked up once again by the Rovers, and we get an offsides call as we are just 52 seconds underway. Looking at the lines here for the Rovers today, we just had the first line coming out with Jack Uchuk, Cameron Dames, and Ben Nevela. Then we will see our second line coming out right now, which includes Drew Laware, Saul Zabakovic on the defensive sides, as there's a shot into the net there on the left side and picked back up as the Skokie Flyers are taking it here on the near boards. Little fight here near the Skokie bench, still in the attacking zone. And it's picked up by Jessen, playing it down in the corner. Going to take it through the left circle, and it's broken up there by the Flyers and put back into the neutral zone, where the Rovers will take back. Play on the near boards here. Once again picked up by the Flyers and scooped back up into the neutral zone. And Lazzaroni's taking it on the right side and looking for a slot into the point. Hits the right post there, and it will go into the corner as the Irish will pick it back up. Still a fight there on the far boards by the left circle, and it's chipped back into the neutral zone. And we'll have a couple defensive changes there for Skokie coming out, as the pass comes up on the near boards in front of the Skokie bench, but picked up by Hauser there, as he'll chip it back into the attacking zone behind the net, where it will be picked up back by the Flyers. So far, Christian, we're just seeing a lot of back and forth there. There's a shot by Sully Hauser, and he'll put it in for the Irish on a good chip into the slot, and the Rovers go up 1-0 here early in the first period.
Well, Sully Hauser definitely found himself in the right place at the right time. He's a right-handed shot standing on the left wing, got a perfect feed pass, and this is one of the reasons why he now has 23 goals on the season, 32 points for the young man, number 81.
And we're talking with assistant coach Joe Bear yesterday, getting some notes here for today's game. This is one key that he was talking about, was getting that quick start, as that is something that the Rovers have struggled with a little bit so far this year, is getting that quick start, as the Rovers will take it. Another big shot there, and the big save by the goalie for the Flyers, and that is, I believe, number 30, Ryan Zeman, starting in between the pipes for the Flyers. Now in the pipes for the Rovers today is also another number 30 in Colton Donzie. 4-9-4 on the season with 1 shutout and a .306 on his goals against, as we're taking it the other way. And we're going to get a high stick call against the Flyers, looking for the pickup there, and it's waved off as the Rovers decided to play it there behind their own net. 9:03 left here in the first period. The Rovers strike early on a Hauser goal, and they're up 1-0, as there's a shot there by Alex Fabish from the Flyers, and it's going to go all the way the other way for an icing with 8:51 to go.
And that's another thing too, Nick, that these Rovers want to do, is they want to get shots early and often. We're just over 3 minutes into this game. They already are out shooting Skokie 3-1, and it just goes to show that having more quality shots on net can definitely give you an early lead.
Face-off one here by the Rovers, played behind their own net, but we got a Flyers player over there to play it on his side. Looks like Mullet playing it on the near boards. Fight for it. He nearly picks it back up in the right circle, but the Rovers pick it up, and they're going for a long pass there. Good pass there up to Jack Uchuk on the right circle. He stops, puts it into the slot for Ben Nevela, who gets a little chip on it, but a stick there from Skokie. Puts it away, and then Neville gets another pass in the slot, and that one also batted away. And the Flyers will put it back out into the neutral zone. A good attack there and a good chance for the Rovers. Play on the right circle. Still picked up by the Rovers as they put it in. A little backhanded shot is blocked down by Zeman. And that was Cameron Dames trying to get that little backhander in and trying to give the Rovers a little cushion there in the early lead.
Well, offensive pressure is going to be huge for the Rovers. They need to really wear down this Skokie Flyers team if they're going to have any shot at getting a W today.
Played along the far boards, still in the back corner there, and played along down to the near boards where the Flyers will pick it back up. And we'll have it picked up by Ryan, but taken away there. Great pickup by Justin. He puts it on the net, and the rebound also blocked away. Couple good chances, and Kogel right there could not even get it. A little bit of a whiff there as it's going to go back the other way. As there's Lazzaroni, puts it in, and it's broken up by the Rovers, and they'll take it back in. It's into the neutral zone, and we got a 1-on-2 coming this way for Traxler, who dumps it into the corner. And Jack Uchuk will pick it up, going behind the net. Excuse me, that is, I believe, Sully Hauser picking that up behind the net. Still a good fight there behind the net. Hauser puts it on goal, and it does not get in, and we'll bring it back out to the neutral zone. And it's finally taken under control there by the Rovers defenseman, who will put it up. Hauser across the blue line for Taylor, and it goes right into the Flyers goalie. 6:47, 1-0 Rovers here in the first period. And as Christian pointed out, already out shooting the Flyers, and now up to 7-1 so far. So keeping that offensive pressure on, and we've been seeing a lot more of the play right now, Christian, down here in the Rovers attacking zone.
Yeah, especially one of the things that the Rovers need to consistently keep doing is not only just putting the pucks on the net, but they're winning a lot of faceoffs in the offensive zone, and that's going to be key. If you can keep the puck down in the offensive zone, it makes life a heck of a lot easier for your defense and your goaltender especially.
Flyers trying to put together an attack there, but quickly broken up by the Rovers as we got some numbers coming the other way. As Sully Hauser, right up the middle, he tries to put a shot on net, but it's quickly blocked away by Ryan Dooley, but a little bit of traffic there in front of the net. And finally, the Flyers will pick it back up, throws it into the neutral zone, and they're going to make a quick change as the Rovers will retake control in their own zone. Back out to the neutral zone, and we got a good fight there. Ben Nevela trying to get it here on the near boards. It comes out of the zone. We also got Ryan Dooley there, and it will be Joshua Wiltgen picking it back up down into the corner. Kogel picks it up. Ben Nevela on the near boards, and he'll shovel it up. And it will come back as Kogel will retake control. Goes behind his own net. Couple Flyers back there trying to give him a little pressure, but he's able to get it out. And it's played up on the near boards. Once again, Jack Uchuk trying to play it. Flyers go behind their own net, pass it up. And they'll bring it back out to, nope, good defensive play there by the Flyers. Now back out into the neutral zone. And that's number 11, Dayan Fager, going through the slot. And nearly an own goal there, but a good stick there by Colton Donzie to keep that one out of the net. It's going to go all the way down the other way, and it will be an icing with 4:51 to go here in the first period.
That was definitely a smart play by Dames right there, just to get the icing, get the whistle, calm everybody down for just a few seconds, regroup. You have a defensive zone faceoff, but the way the Rovers are playing right now, their faceoffs are not a problem for them whatsoever. They can win faceoffs pretty easily and get the puck back in the offense. Faceoff
won there by Skokie, but quickly taken up by the Rovers. But now we have Skokie, that's number 89, Tyron Ryan, excuse me, picking that one up and shove off to the left side. Back into the neutral zone come the Rovers. Skokie there to pick it back up on the far right circle, shovel it. Far boards picked up and still controlled by the Rovers. There's a shot into the slot, still on the near left circle here. Jessen in the corner. And shoveled back out by the Skokie defensemen. Through the neutral zone across the blue line. And it will be a shot on goal there. Donzie with a nice pad save. Another one on the wraparound. Saved once again. And the Rovers nearly get it back out, but Flyers able to keep it in their own zone. As there's another shot on goal. That was by Anthony Capasso, but Donzie with another big save. So 3 big saves right there to keep the big 0 on the board for the Flyers.
Well, Donzie's playing really poised right now. He's really communicating. We can hear him all the way up here, telling his defenseman what to do, who to pick up, and let the defensemen are knowing now that they can let him see the shot, because Donzie's a very capable goaltender, especially if he can see the puck in front of him, he can stop it.
It's Coquit on the left circle. He takes a shot. He puts it in the corner, and the Rovers go up 2-0. Coquit nearly going coast to coast with that one down the near boards and takes a shot from the left circle, finds the corner of the net over the glove side of the goalie from the Flyers, and they go up 2-0.
Well, what a smart play by Coquit. You know, there's no such thing as a bad shot in the game of hockey, and when Coquit just put the puck towards the net, yeah, it deflected off of a Skokie defenseman to go into the top corner. But there's no such thing as a bad shot. You never know what can happen when you put the puck towards the net, and great things can happen at any point.
You know, when you always talk about those shots coming onto the net, as you were just mentioning, you can get those big rebounds that come off, and you can take advantage of those. You get one that goes over the net, comes off the glass, but can still bounce back. It's always you want to put it on goal, and as you mentioned, anything can happen with that. But if you're not taking the shots, and you're not really you're not taking them, but you're not missing them at the same time.
Correct.
Little traffic there in front of the net on the attacking side as Kogel will try to put it back in, but quickly taken up by Fabish, and he's going to come right up the middle and take it back into the neutral zone. Fabish across the red line and into the attacking zone. He's trying to go coast to coast with it. Kogel's down in the corner with him, fighting for the puck. Fabish trying to get it out to Anthony Lazzaroni in the slot, but broken up very quickly there by the Rovers. And a couple changes now coming in for the Flyers as the Rovers are trying to get it back out to the neutral zone, which they will. Puck comes to the near side by the Skokie bench. Sully Hauser trying to fight with it with Lazzaroni. And another shot there by Hauser in the middle, and it will finally come back out to the neutral zone. 2:15 left here in the first period. And the Rovers are up 2-0. They're out shooting the Flyers right now 10-5. Puck goes all the way down into the Irish zone, and it's going to be picked up and taken behind the net. As there's a little bit of confusion there as Lazzaroni picked it up behind the net. A little bit of an interception there. Couldn't make too much of it as it went off the side of the cage. And the puck is now onto the far left circle. Some good plays there, as that's number 89, Tieran Ryan, breaking it up near on the left circle. A shot on goal, another big save there by Colton Donzie. And the Rovers will take control out into the neutral zone. Nevela chips it in to the attacking zone. Will be picked up by Nathan Fabish, brother of Alex Fabish as well. A couple brothers here on the Flyers squad. And a little bit of a breakaway here. This is Tieran Ryan, but quickly broken up there by the Rovers as we're about to hit the 60-second mark here of the first period. Fager into Ryan on the right circle. Passes it towards the slot, but nobody there for the help, and the Rovers will pick it up. They take it back into the neutral zone, and the pass was looking for Traxler, but he was unable to pick it up. Another shot on goal there, and Donzie, another big pad save there on his left. So the Rovers will chip it back out into the neutral zone where the Flyers are fighting with it. Fager picks it up in the middle, takes it over the blue line, goes to the right circle, takes a shot on goal, and a nice save there by Donzie as it hops over the net and now into the far corner. 26 seconds left to go here in the first period. Big pass there up to Brody Traxler. He's on the right circle. Nice little stick around, but a great defensive play there by the Flyers as they'll get it back into the neutral zone. 15 seconds to go here in the first as we're into the right circle. That is Nicholas Muno Takes a shot but goes wide left. 4 seconds to go here in the first period. As we'll hear the first siren as Lazzaroni was trying to get one more shot on goal there from the right circle. But some great defensive plays there by Kogel. And a little extracurricular down in the near corner, but Bruce Caniller there is to break it up. So the Rovers 2-0 here after the first. And again, as you mentioned early on, Christian, it's all about that offensive pressure, and that's what the Irish seem to be doing. And on top of it, some great defensive plays down and a lot of great saves by Colton Donzie.
Well, the Irish are definitely, they definitely have a great game plan going in the offensive zone. Defensively, they're playing a pretty sound game. Donzie's made 8 really key saves to keep the score 2-0. But just a few things that the Rovers need to just settle down with. As you see Ryan Uchuk over there just telling them basically settle down, keep some poise. One thing that I've noticed, Nick, as the period progressed, shifts are getting just a little too long, and what ends up happening is they get the control of the puck in the offensive zone. They have it in there for a while, and then the puck comes out of the zone, and then they end up getting stuck in their defensive zone for a while. And that's why you noticed that there was a couple of icings called just for that reason. At that point, you're tired, you want to get the puck out of the zone, just take the icing, regroup, get settled with another face-off. Face-off-wise, they've been doing really well. They've been winning most of their face-offs, getting key shots on goal when they can, but they just need to really shorten up the shifts as the game progresses.
So we get started with the second period. It's the third line out here for the Rovers. So we have Chris Pelletier, Joel Coquit, and Sully Hauser out, along with the defenseman. That includes Noah Riffle and Sebastian Kogel. As Hauser's playing it behind the net, now comes to the near boards. As he passes it back out to Riffle, and then he'll shove it back into Hauser. Hauser trying to take it through into the middle, slap to the far side. That's where Pelletier will pick it, that's where Coquit will pick it up. Now back to Hauser behind the net, looking for Pelletier, and Hauser's going to try a little bit of a wraparound, knocked away there by the goalie Ryan Zeman. And the Flyers will finally dump it out into the neutral zone and all the way down, and icing will be waved off as that one actually comes on goal, as Colton Donzie will have to get down and cover that one up.
Well, great defensive back check right there by the Irish. Donzie keeping himself, very poised in that, not trying to give up anything silly, just smothering the puck as soon as it came down to him, giving himself a face-off, and the Rovers actually had a chance to make a line change.
So now we got Jack Uchuk, Cameron Dames, and Ben Nevela out, along with Saul Zabakovic and Drew Laware on the defense. Fight here on the near side. That is Nathan Fabish as that one comes in. And a short shot there by Tyron Ryan, chipped away there by Colton Donzie. And another one, and Donzie's going to have to cover that one on the left side of the cage as it does come loose, but the whistle was already blown. 10:29 here left in the second period. Rovers up 2-0.
The Rovers with the long line change, both teams actually with the long line change this period, Nick. One thing that you really want to do, especially if you find yourself pinned in the defensive zone again, is you really want to just get control of the puck, just get it high and hard off the glass. And if you get it, take an icing, you take an icing. But it's still too early in the game right now just to be sitting back on your heels. You really want to just get control of that puck, keep control of it. And if you have to take an icing, just take the icing.
William Cadlick taking it behind the net for the Flyers, along with his other defenseman, Egan Ryan, as the puck is now on the far left circle. Picked up once again by the Flyers. Pass goes out to the neutral zone, where there it will be picked up by Ryan Hernandez. He's taking it into the left circle. He's going to try for the backhand towards the net, but it goes off the side of the cage. And another shot into the crease and goes right across there, where it's picked up once again on the far side. Hernandez chips it in, and he had Fabish right there on the right side of the cage, but he was unable to take advantage of it. Ryan Hernandez with a slap shot, but a big save there by Colton Donzie. And that one comes back out into the neutral zone. And now we have a shot on goal there. I was trying to see who that is. And this one will have the face-off here on the right circle. It's actually Jacob Hums that took that shot on goal. Face-off won by the Rovers, but taken up by the Flyers. In the corner. Traxler trying to give way to it, but the Flyers get into their attacking zone. In the far corner, fighting for it. A couple of guys falling down on the ice there in a fight behind the net. And it's going to be picked up by Hauser. And taking it up, chipped ahead through the neutral zone is Traxler on the right side. And a little bit of a mix-up there, as the Flyers will take it back, throw it over to the far boards, and back into the neutral zone, trying to look for Lazzaroni. He was unable to take control of it. Into the near corner. Picked up once again by Lazzaroni. Fight there with Riffle. And Fabish is right there. He's trying to get a shot on net. And the Rovers pick it back up. Now into the attacking zone. Trying to get into the slot with Traxler, but it was broken away by the Flyers, and they're going to take it the other way. As Lazzaroni's on the left circle. Spins around. Looking to attack once again. Shot. Big save there on the right side by Donzie once again. Now the Flyers low on shots in the first period, Christian, but so far have picked up 8. And we're only just about 5 minutes into the second.
Well, and if you look at that last play that Lazzaroni just made, he ended up creating himself some time and space by making that escape move. And that's something that all young players really need to start emphasizing on, is the more time and space that you have, the better plays you can get. He got a great slap shot off onto Donzie, and Donzie had to make a pretty spectacular save on it.
Passes into the slot dive for Pelletier, and shot goes on by Coquit. It's chipped away, but he's going to keep it there behind the net. And able to keep it in are the Rovers, but picked up by the Flyers. They'll take it back into the neutral zone. Fabish on the left side. Passes in. He was looking for Nicholas Munau, and he was unable to make it. A lot of traffic in front of the net, a couple big saves, and finally it gets into the back of the net, and that was by Tyron Ryan, who was able to get off that, what looked to be about the third or the fourth rebound off of Donzie, just off a little backhand chip. And the Flyers cut back into this lead. It's 2-1.
Yeah, Faber made a great play. He realized that all the Rovers were just puck watching. They kept chasing around the puck to the left side of Donzie, and he parked himself right on the right side on the back door where good goal scorers put themselves in a great scoring position, and when the puck just squirted out to him, all he had to do was just bury it, and that's exactly what he did.
So 2-1 Rovers now with 6:47 to go in the second period. Rovers scoring early and late in the first, and now the Flyers chipping back into that lead here in the second. Got the line of Jack Uchuk, Cameron Dames, Ben Nevela out. As far as the forwards go for the Rovers, Nevela, little backhand chip there. Put away, though, by Ryan Zeman. Goes to the far boards. Still fighting for it. There was Dames. And it comes back out, and that will come into the neutral zone. Nevela fighting with Hernandez for that as it goes into the near corner. Hernandez picks it back up. He's trying to get to the net. And a nice little poke away there by Noah Riffle, and that one will come up. Ben Nevela trying to take control of it in the neutral zone, but goes back to the Flyers. Riffle, near side, back into the neutral zone, and across the blue line go the Rovers, and a shot on net, save by Ryan Zeman, and that will bring it to the far circle for a face-off.
One thing, Nick, that the Rovers really have to cut down on is their long stretch passes across the ice. Yeah, you might have an open man, but you never know when you're going to have 2 or 3 opponents trying to pick off that pass. It's actually cost them a couple of times this period. So that's one of the things. Yeah, you might be able to think you have the open lane, but somebody can just sneak up and just pick it off, in the flick of a light switch.
Now you look at the younger you look at the younger guys to the older guys when you're trying to get those big passes, and really the big comparison you can make there is a lot of speed. When you have the extra speed there with the older guys and you're making that big play, you can make it work a lot. But with these guys, their strides are a little bit slower and smaller, so you can't really get it too much unless you know you have a wide open guy in the neutral zone to take care of it. Otherwise, it just goes down as a long pass and hard to do something with it. And
especially with the strength of these little guys compared to like the older kids that we've seen here in the past, Nick. The older kids, not only are their feet moving the entire time, but also just their overall strength and being able to get the puck to their teammates quicker. Here in an instance where you have a big ice sheet and little guys out here, it makes it a little more difficult to make that long stretch pass.
Fight for the puck in the neutral zone on the far boards right in front of the Rovers bench. And it's picked up there by Gavin Taylor. He'll chip it in, go behind the net where he's trying to get it over to Chris Pelletier. It's taken away by the Flyers. Still fought for it on the near boards. Goes across the ice to the left circle where it's picked up by Nathan Fabish. Fabish pass. He was looking for Joshua Wiltgen, but it's picked up by Pelletier on the right side. Pelletier puts it into Coquit. Coquit was looking to get it over to Sully Hauser, just too hot to handle there, and the Flyers will take it back the other way. Wiltgen, I think he was looking to go for a change, and now he will get that change, but the pass came to him, so he's just looking to do something with it before he went on to the bench. Hauser on the far boards, chips it up to Coquit, who's taking it through the neutral zone, down the left side, comes in the left circle, and he was looking for Pelletier in the slot, but broken up there by a defenseman there for the Flyers. Pelletier in the corner. Riffle open on the point. He was calling for it there, and that one will actually then go into Sully Hauser, whose shot goes wide left. Hauser fighting in behind the net. Pelletier now in the corner. Fighting for the puck there with Anthony Capasso. Still a good fight there in the left circle. Finally broken up there, and the Flyers have numbers coming the other way, 2-on-1. And a nice little move there by Lazzaroni as he looks, and there's a little chip shot there, and that was Nicholas Munau, who wasn't able to get it because of another nice save there by Colton Donzie on the left side. That little chip comes in, and Donzie goes down to the butterfly, and he'll cover it up.
Well, and that was a smart defensive play, actually, there, Nick. You want to, first and foremost, you want to take the pass away, and, it made Skokie have to hesitate on making passes that close to Donzie. But if you want to really let your goaltender take the guy with the puck, and if you're a defenseman or even a back-checking forward, you want to pick up somebody that doesn't have the puck. Let your goaltender take the shooter or the man with the puck, and then you pick up the open guy, because 9 times out of 10, if you take the shooter instead of the open guy, it's the open guy who ends up putting it in the back of your net.
In the neutral zone right now, the Rovers pick it back up. They're going to take it back into the attacking zone. That's Jack Uchuk trying to fight for it right there. Back out. And that is number 53, Sebastian Kogel. Trying to fight for it there as he'll still have it here on the near boards. Jack Uchuk also fighting for it along with Cameron Dames, and there will be that automatic offsides, as that's one rule that you do get here in the younger ages, is the automatic offside instead of the delayed. So if you have a skater already pass it and just say, let's say the puck just goes past the blue line, you're going to get called for that offsides every time. Face-off one here by the Rovers. It's Jessen in the right circle trying to get a shot off there, broken up by William Kadlik. And it will come down. Zabukovic. He's got the puck. He's going to take a shot towards the net. He was looking for Jessen there in the middle, and it goes off to the right side. Jessen in the far corner. Dealing with a couple of Flyer skaters there. And there's one of those long passes out into the neutral zone. And good play there by Jessen to keep it from going over the blue line, or else they would have had that offsides get called on him, because Zabukovic was still in the attacking zone. Fight for it, finally taken over by Joshua Wiltgen. That's going to go the other way, looking for that long pass up to, I believe that's Kozlowski. And Donzie will come down on it. With 1:39 left here in the second, the Rovers lead it 2-1.
Well, they might have that 2-1 lead, Nick, but right now they're getting outshot 17-14, which is a big turnaround from last period. And Donzie, I believe, at this point is feeling, with the amount of shots that he's taken this period, he just wants to smother everything. So anything within an arm's reach of him, he's just going to cover up, take the whistle, and settle the team down.
Into the attacking zone come the Rovers, with Coquit, Hauser, and Pelletier now out on the ice, along with Riffle and Kogel. Pelletier in the slot, can't take handle of that one, and it comes to the near boards. Fighting with him as well is Gabe Mollett. And it looks like Coquit there, and that pass is going to come back out in the neutral zone all the way down. No icing will be called as it was tipped. Picked up by Riffle. Trying to find somebody in the middle. Kogel slings it around the boards, and that's where we'll have Hauser pick it up. Trying to get it back out to Coquit. Little collision there right at center ice, and we will have a penalty coming up, and it will be the first penalty of the game, and it's going to go against Sully Hauser, and Bruce Killer is going to call a roughing. Yeah,
it was a pretty blatant almost an open ice check right there, Nick, that Hauser made on Ryan, and it just goes to show, if you have your head up, instead of making the body check, especially at this age with the 12Us not being able to play in a checking game, just make a simple stop and start instead of losing control of your body and then going into somebody, because the referee is going to call that a body contact 99% of the time.
So the Flyers will have the first power play of the game here. Now 27 seconds left to go here in the second period. So if they don't score, that power play will bleed into the third period. So we're going to see how the Rovers can handle the first penalty kill of the game, as a couple shots there go off of Donzie, another big save there by Donzie, and the whistle is blown. And it looked like that one might have been still a little bit loose as Ryan Hernandez was going after it, but a nice stretch there by Donzie to cover it up before it crosses the goal line.
And this is one thing, if you're the Rovers, you do not want to have a breakdown. Less than a minute to go, you're killing a penalty, and the puck is in your zone. Pick up a man. Don't worry about where the puck is. Let your goalie focus on that, as opposed to you trying to make a play.
13 seconds to go here in the second period. 1:26 left in that power play here for Skokie on the near boards. It's broken up there, but Ryan's there on the high slot. He's unable to take control of it. It's going to come all the way down, and that will bring us to the end of the second period, where the Rovers still hold on to that 2-1 lead. But the Flyers will still have about 1:15 left in their power play as we go into the final frame. And again, the big note here from the second period was the offensive pressure that the Flyers were able to put on. We were looking at the shots coming to the end of the first period, and I believe it was the Rovers leading about 9-4, and now the Flyers have put on 15 of their own shots here, while the Rovers have only put on 5 in the second period.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm sure Coach Uchek is really stressing right now, is the fact that they just need to get back into their game, get back into the swing of keeping control of the puck in the offensive zone, making smart decisions with the puck in the offensive zone, not trying to be too cute with the puck, and just play the simple game. If you keep things really simple, the benefits you're going to reap the benefits, and that's something that the Rovers did not do this period. They made a lot of mental mistakes, and it cost them not just a penalty, but now a goal. And with the lead cut to 2-1, now it's crunch time to see, what they have left in the tank in the final 12 minutes.
Against on the penalty kill here are the Rovers. About 1:09 left in the power play for the Flyers, and I noticed the goalie now in for the Flyers is Eli Cammons, number 00. So broken up there by the Rovers as they're going to take it the other way here short-handedly, as we have Sully Hauser trying to get a short-handed goal and cushion that lead back up, but it goes wide to the left, and it comes back out to the neutral zone. Fought here in the near boards is Kogel, with Jessen there as well. Kogel picks it up near boards. Fabish keeps it in, looking for Lazzaroni, but a nice break up there by Ben Nebula as it comes back out to the neutral zone, where the Flyers will have to regroup. 11-11 to go here in the third period. Ryan chips it ahead, but nobody there for the Flyers. And that one will be nearly cleared out again, but nice keep in there by the Flyers as they look to keep that pressure on here in this power play with about 13 seconds to go. But now the Rovers are going to bring it back the other way. Kogel on the right circle. He takes a shot, and it goes just to the wide right side of the cage and bounces back off. But he was able to keep it, but now taken back up by the Flyers as they'll bring it back out to the neutral zone as the Rovers come back to full strength. I think a good job there on the penalty kill there at least starting here in the third period, limiting the shots, I believe, just to that one, and that was about it as the Rovers were able to take control.
Well, and that's definitely a big confidence boost. You know, you obviously you end the second period shorthanded with not very much time left on the clock. To have a big penalty kill like the Rovers just did with a minute 15, only giving up one shot, and actually producing more offensive pressure than the Flyers were producing.
Got Coquit, Hauser, Pelletier line out right now, along with defenseman Drew Laware and Saul Zabukovic. Zabukovic picks it up there in the corner behind his own net. Nice fight there along with Ryan Hernandez, and it comes along the far boards and out to neutral ice. We got a one-on-one battle here as it's coming up. The shot just to the wide right side, and that was from Joel Coquit, and that will be a nice big save there as well as it was tipped off the glove side there from the goalie, Eli, for the Flyers. Another big shot there. Kamens, couple big saves there, stretches out. It's already loose here on the near side as there's a fight for it down in the corner. Two Flyers, one Rover there. I think the one kid was laying on it there. Gets it back up. Kept in. Nice job there by Laware to keep it alive here in the attacking zone. Fabish up the ice, and that will be an ice. So he was trying to get that pass into the neutral zone, but it hopped over his teammate's stick all the way down for an icing.
Well, and it was a good shift by the Irish. However, it was another long shift. They had Skokie pinned down in their end, and that's a situation, Nick, where just one at a time, get yourself off the ice. If you notice after a minute or so that you're still on the ice, look around, see if it's your line mates that are still on the ice. If it's not your line mates, then you might want to get off the ice just to get yourself a breather, because if you stay out there too long, that's when you start making the big mistakes and it can cost you.
Tiernan Ryan coming on the right side here. He's got help in the shot. Nice little clanger there over the glove side of Donzie. Kind of clanged around a couple of posts but stayed in there. And Ryan with the equalizer. It's 2-2 here with 8:50 to go in the third.
Yeah, there's no offense to Donzie on that one. It's just a perfect place shot just over the short side, his glove side. What ends up happening in that situation is there's really nothing the goalie can do. The only suggestion you might have for a goaltender in that situation when you go back and look at the play is just maybe come out of your crease just a little farther. He looked like he was a little sucked back in there for a moment, and a good goal scorer is going to pick a corner like that every single time, and that's exactly what he did.
And I think the benefit they had was Ryan also had some help on the left side, so you knew you were going to keep Donzie back in because he knew he had that extra skater on the right side, so it's either he's going to come out and challenge Ryan to that, and then Ryan could pass to his left and then take advantage of that open space in the net. But he took it himself and was still able to equalize on that one to tie it up. Just a little over 8 minutes left here in the third period. 2-2 our score here. The Flyers out shooting the Rovers 20-17. Lazzaroni on the right side. Donzie gets a nice save right off his mask, and it's quickly picked up there by Jack Uchuk, who will pass it along the boards. Comes to the near side and up to Dames in the neutral zone, but taken over by Ryan Hernandez, who will chip it back in, and a couple changes coming out for the Flyers. Uchuk back in to the neutral zone, and the Flyers will retake control. Lazzaroni on the right, and he'll take a long shot, and Donzie didn't even see that one. Went off his right leg pad, and luckily for Donzie, as we got a little bit of pushing and shoving there at the end, but luckily for Donzie, that shot was right on his pad.
Yeah, Donzie played pretty poised against that shot. It might have shocked him a little bit when that shot went through the screen. However, one thing that the Rovers need to do in a situation like that is they need to clear the shooting lane. let Donzie get good vision and, positioning on the shot in order to make it an easy save instead of stunning him like that one just did.
Back and forth going here behind the net. Finally picked up by the Rovers as they'll bring it out. Far side into the neutral zone. But nobody there to pick it back up, so the Flyers will take advantage of that one. Looking for Ryan there on the right side. Goes past, and the Rovers will take it back up again. Far side, Zabukovic. And it comes back out to the blue line. Dooley looking to put one up towards the net, and it's intercepted by the Rovers. But Dooley will pick it back up, chips it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Fager. Passes on to the left side. A shot goes wide right. And Ryan there. The good fight. And a nice save there by Dooley to keep it in the attacking zone. He's coming in through the slot. His shot will go wide to the right. Picked up once again. Nobody there for the Flyers this time. And the Rovers have got the 2-on-2 coming the other way. Big slap shot there by Uchuk goes wide to the right off the backboard. And it's Munau picking it up here on the near boards. And it will be an offsides there as Zabukovic had a couple guys still on the attacking side of the blue line, chipped it back in, so we get that offsides call.
Well, it was a great forecheck by the Rovers on that shift there. They got pinned down in their zone, for a few seconds, but they were very calm with the puck. They got the puck out into the neutral zone, and it created a couple good scoring chances.
We got an icing here going against the Flyers as it will come down here, and a attacking zone faceoff will come for the Rovers. 6 minutes even to go here in the third period. 2-2 our score here at the Compton Family Ice Arena on Lefty Smith Rink, as the Irish Rovers are looking to pick up a win here today to stay alive for those NIHL playoffs. They're 3 points behind the Skokie Flyers, who hold that 6th spot. So a big win for the Flyers would put them still in that NIHL race. Rovers going through the neutral zone. Kogel on the near boards, has Hauser right behind him. Played alongside Pelletier. Hauser, nice shot, and wow, what a shot there by Hauser. Great pass coming back from Pelletier to the left circle. Hauser is able to take advantage of it on the blocker's side, and Rovers get that lead back. It's 3-2.
Well, Hauser, again, this is his second goal from the same spot. A right-hand shot, lower left wing side of the goaltender, and just does what good goal scorers do. They get the puck to the net. He had a good screen in front of him, put a low shot on the short side, and again, the Rovers, getting themselves back up into the positive shot column, get themselves back on the board for the 3-2 lead.
Face-off win there for the Rovers. Nevela coming up. He's on the right circle. He's going to take a shot, and a big save there by Kamens, as right away off the opening face-off following a score, the Rovers putting that pressure back on with a nice opportunity there for Ben Nevela. Face-off on the far right circle here. Uchuk. And the win goes to the Flyers here as they'll chip it back out. Now the Flyers have a 3-1 advantage here. And it will come from the left side over to Hernandez, but the shot gets blocked away. And it looks like, I guess it trickled in there. And I believe that came from Alex Fabish there on the left side, as the puck somehow got under Donzie's pad. And the official there, Bruce Kneller, right on the line, saw it squeak through, and it's 3-3.
Yeah, it was only in the net by about 8 inches there, Nick. Just a soft shot put on net, kind of caught Donzie a little off guard. But one of the things you got to do, especially if you're on the Rover defense, is just get sticks up off the ice. The main reason why that goal went in is because nobody had stick on stick. Everybody was just puck watching, and that's not something you want to do with a 1-goal lead and less than 6 minutes to go in the game. And that's what cost him, and now we have a 3-3 game.
And on top of that, now Gavin Taylor gets called for a hook. And once again, the power play will be on here for the Flyers. Their second of the game were unsuccessful in their first one, only were able to get about 4 shots on. But we look back at that power play, there was a lot of pressure coming from the Flyers before the second period ended, but then the Rovers had a chance to kind of refine themselves there during that short intermission and take advantage of the PK coming out into the third period. So we'll see if that PK here once again will be advantageous for the Rovers. And we got an offsides call here as we had Nathan Fabish try to dump it into the attacking zone, but he still had one teammate on the near side, so we'll have that automatic offsides.
Well, one thing the Rovers are doing really well so far on the penalty kill is they got the puck out of the zone. Now they need to regroup and get the puck even more deep into the Skokie offensive zone and try to create a little bit of pressure, at least make Skokie have to skate the full 200 feet to score.
Kept alive there by Lazzaroni in the blue line, and Ryan takes a shot. Nice save there by Donzi, and a rebound comes back to Donzi, and he'll cover it up. 4:30 left here in regulation time. 1:30 left in the power play for the Flyers. 3-3 our game, and the Flyers still on the outshooting side, 26-20 over the Rovers. Face-off won by the Rovers. Zabukovic in the corner. Comes to the near side. You got Hauser and Coquit up on the forwards as Hauser will take it. I think he was looking to dump it off to Coquit, but Coquit was already past him, so he'll take it himself. Hauser coming into the slot. He'll backhand it, and it was hit off of the leg of Alex Fabish, goes to the right of the net, and the Flyers will retake possession there into the neutral zone and across the blue line. And that one comes back out, and looking to get past right there was Joel Coquit, unable to get it past his one defender there, and it stays here in the attacking zone. About 43 seconds left in the Flyers power play. Coming along the far sides into the corner, picked up by Ryan once again. Nice defensive play there by the Rovers, and they're going to try and bring it back out, and it stays in. Now that time it does come out, and it will be an offsides call against the Flyers. I thought that one straddled along the blue line, stayed in, but you had Lucy down there on the far side who had a little bit better view than us, and she says it just came out.
Well, and that was a big bonus, too, for the Rovers. Those forwards had been out there for a good 40-plus seconds of that penalty kill, and once you make your rush up ice, especially at this age group on a penalty kill, being the fact that you can't ice it when you're shorthanded, one thing you want to do most of all is get the puck in deep and just get off the ice. Keep the legs fresh and the pressure and the octane tank high, but a quick mistake like that can end up costing you in the end.
3 minutes ago here in the game, and the Rovers are back to full strength as the hooking penalty now comes to an end there for Gavin Taylor. Shot on net goes wide to the left there as the Flyers are putting on some extra pressure here with just under 3 minutes to go, as the Rovers need to get themselves some composure back here and put together a couple big rushes if they want to try to get that game-winning goal here.
Well, they need to definitely get not only some rushes, but they need to keep possession of the puck in the offensive zone. Try, if anything, try to make Skokie make some mistakes. In the game so far, Skokie hasn't taken a penalty, which does prove to me that they're a very disciplined team. However, you want to maybe have them make some mistakes in the defensive zone, and definitely, with the hopes of it giving you some scoring opportunities.
Puck's been kind of bouncing back and forth there, finally out of the neutral zone, but Laware picks it up. He's going behind his own net, and he's trying to blast forward there, but a nice defensive play there by Joshua Wilchin to keep it there, looking for a pass to one of his teammates that goes across the crease and into the near boards. Now passed up from Ben Nevela. He was looking for Dames, however, just a little out of the reach of Dames. It goes all the way down for an icing. Minute 46 left here in the third period, and again the Rovers looking to pick up. What they've been looking to get here is a win to get those much-needed points to try and get into that fight for the top six of the Nile. Now, if they tie, well, they each get a point, so that would keep Skokie in that sixth spot, but, nobody would come away empty-handed at the same time. Into the neutral zone are the Rovers now coming up. Jessen into the slot. He passes it back, and it's broken up there by the Flyers. Kept in there by the Rovers, far side. behind the net. And we're looking to get it out there. A nice little pass there, and the shot goes wide to the left. On a good opportunity there for the Rovers, picked up by the Flyers, and tried to keep it in there was Kogel, but it comes back out to the neutral zone. Jessen, now Kogel, right in front of the Flyers bench, along with Lazzaroni. Now off to Traxler, who's in front of the scorer's box. He's having a little bit of a fight there with a couple of his other teammates and some Flyers. As we are now under a minute now, 48 seconds to go here in the third. Back out to the neutral zone, and that's going to be a bad turnover. However, picked up by Lazzaroni, and a nice play there by the Rovers to keep that one out. But Lazzaroni with a backhand, and he gets the rebound. Another shot. A couple big saves there by Colton Donzie, who's still down on the ice. Has a lot of open space there, and Donzie looks like he lost his. He lost his blocker, or I'm sorry, he lost his glove, but Lucy's going to blow it dead here, so he can pick up his glove.
That was a dangerous play, and actually that all started in the offensive zone for the Rovers, Nick. One thing, you really don't want to have all three forwards below your opponent's goal line in the offensive zone, and that happened for a good 4 or 5 seconds. They almost got a scoring opportunity off of it as the puck went out to the point, and Loire got the puck towards the net. However, that ended up getting blocked, and the puck ended up coming out into the neutral zone, but they got the quick, fast break, and then that's when problems started to happen for the Rovers. Donzie loses his glove. Luckily, the referees saw it. They blew the whistle right away, and, play was able to just come to a halt, if you will, and allow the Rovers to regroup and get guys on the ice that they want to have out there, especially in the last 24 seconds.
24.4 here to go, and we have this little break as Skokie use their timeout as they're going to try to set something up in the attacking zone. Coming out now for the Rovers, as we also have an empty net now for Skokie, from what we are seeing. And nope, now Cammons is going to come back out, so no empty net. So 24.4. Face-off is down, and the Rovers will take control there in the far corner. Clock's now down to 17. There's Lazzaroni fighting in the corner. Tries to get it in. Lazzaroni couldn't handle it. Rovers get it out under 10 seconds now, and they got one last rush, but can't control the puck there. Hauser's got it in the neutral zone now, picked up back up by the Flyers, and the clock will come and expire. Now, I'm not sure if in these NIHL games if there is a quick overtime or not, but the Zam doors are open, so I'm guessing this game will end in a tie, a 3-3 tie between the Rovers and the Skokie Flyers. And again, the Rovers were looking to pick up a win. They don't get that, but they'll still get a point out of that from the tie. But the only unfortunate thing is they really don't gain any ground on Skokie coming out of that. And I believe now with Skokie, they actually will jump into 5th place with that. And now the Naperville Sabres will take down to that 3rd. So they don't gain any ground on Skokie, but they will gain a point ground on Naperville. So they'll be only down about 2 points. And there were a couple other games going on in the NIHL today where the Sabres were taking on the Wildcats at Naperville all seasons. And coming up here in a couple of hours, the Jaguars and the Hawks will be playing at the Inwood Recreation Center in a game that will feature the Jaguars, who have been struggling themselves, but the Jaguars 1 team, one of the teams that actually have clinched a NIHL spot. We were talking about the Jaguars 2 team that has been struggling a little bit this year. It'll be the Jaguars 1 and the Hawks 1, who are all in the top 6. So it looks like, I believe, assistant coach J.P. Jobert will be coming up here in just a couple of minutes, or one of the coaches will be coming up to talk with us in the post game here, as, again, we get a 3-3 tie between the Rovers and the Skokie Flyers here at the Compton Family Ice Arena. So while we wait for the coaches to come up, Christian, let's talk about the game we had early on. The Rovers were putting on a lot of offensive pressure in the first period. Second period kind of seemed to dwindle away as the Flyers were able to put up 15 shots themselves and also chip themselves back into this game. Third period had some great opportunities going their way, but a couple of bad turnovers here and there, and just a couple of bad rebounds also going on. Colton Donzie as well allowed the Flyers to get back in this game, eventually tie it. Rovers retook the lead midway through the third, and then the Flyers would put the equalizer back once again late in the third. So that's where we ended up with that 3-3 tie.
Well, in all, it was a great effort put forth by both teams. I felt both teams, Nick, had equal amount of both mental and physical mistakes, and they all capitalized on their opportunities as well. So from our viewpoint up here, it was just an overall very good hockey game. It's two 12U AA teams that are in the hunt for playoff position, and they need to be playing playoff hockey now. And I feel that both coaches, as we saw the game keep progressing, both coaches kind of reiterated that to the team as the time is now, and they are late enough in the season as it is to where playoff hockey for these two teams, it starts in late January, beginning of February, and that's the point of the season we are in right now. With that being said, too, both teams knew that they're on the cusp of possibly getting knocked out of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. South Bend doesn't have a fair sure shot yet. They're behind in the standings by a little bit. Skokie just picks up another point right here, so they end up moving up a spot. But still, there's plenty of hockey left in the season. However, South Bend's going on the road the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. So that needs to be in the mindset of both the players and the coaches that, hey, we're not playing at home anymore this year. We need to get big wins on the road. And Skokie, at the same time, they need to pick up points both at home and on the road to secure their playoff spot. And that's what they did right there by, picking up a 1 point in the tie.
You talk about going between the home and the away. You always love to play in front of your hometown crowd, love to play in front of your fans here, but going on the road, and if you can pick up big road wins like you were just talking about, that's always a big mental booster when it comes to going to different environments. You got a lot of different places that you play in the NIHL out in the Chicago suburbs, as I believe the Rovers are the only team in the NIHL that come from South Bend. So they always have to travel out to Chicago to play a lot of these teams. So you're in bigger cities with a lot of different at hand, a lot of these different places. Some places are real nice. Some, they're just kind of middle of the road. But every environment's different when it comes to different types of fans. And, each team has their own energy at home. Some teams will play a lot better at home than they do on the road. And from when I was talking to Coach Jobert, this Skokie team was one that was more favored to win at home than on the road, and these two teams have gone back and forth all season as well. So it'll be a big shakeup to see what happens here in the NIHL. Well,
and especially too, Nick, like we were talking in the pregame show, the Rovers in their last 5 games, 2-3. However, the 3 losses that they did have were all on the road. The 2 wins at home, and so now in the last 6 games they've picked up 5 points at home. So that just goes to show you how they really need to pick up the big points on the road. There's no such thing as an easy building to play in, whether you're at home or on the road. However, you're playing the rest of the season on the road, and those are the big wins that you need to come out with if you're going to try to make a run for the playoffs and keep your season going into the late parts of February, early parts of March.
All right, now we have assistant coach J.P. Jobert, the brother of my color man Christian, joining us here. J.P., thanks for coming up to talk after the game. And, a 3-3 tie, you don't come away empty-handed in something like that, but you and I talked yesterday that this was more of a must-win situation. So Not coming away empty-handed, but how does this tie affect you guys now?
No, that's a difficult one to swallow. You know, you have a 2-0 lead. You got a team on the ropes, especially here at home, and kind of let that one get away. I'll tell you what, the Hauser, Coquit, and Pelletier line really came up big for us. They got all 3 of our goals, but you know, and then we let waste a pretty good effort by Colton Donzie in goal, and that's a tough one to swallow when you got a team that, you know, you've played with for 2+ periods, and then all of a sudden you let them back in the game. It's a very tough one, and you know, like you said, it's not all was lost. We got a point out of it, which, you know, you really want to have 2, but you know, it's going to be a little tougher road to hoe going forward. You talked about one of the big keys yesterday was getting off to that quick start, and that's exactly what you guys were able to do today. So you had a lot of great offensive pressure there in the first period. Then the second period came around, and it seemed like things kind of dwindled away a little bit. 15 shots a goal alone for the Flyers compared to just 5 for you guys there. So a big turnaround coming there in the second. So what was really, you know, the big difference there going from the first to the second? I think it's that period of the long change where, you know, it seems to take the wind out of our sails every second period. You know, give Skokie credit. I mean, they are a good puck-moving team. I mean, we gave them plenty of opportunities to get shots on goal, and they were able to sneak a couple through. But yeah, that period of the long change, it's such a hard one for our kids. And I can't really put a finger on it, but you know, 15 shots to 5 in a period is unacceptable, and hopefully we'll learn from that. And you know, the good thing is we get these guys next week. We get them in Skokie, and it's going to be a battle, as we found out today. Now we're talking about the standings. Now you guys pick up a point and go to 11 points. Skokie also kind of picks up a point. They go to 14, so now they jump up to 5th, dropping the Naperville Sabres down into 6th. And we know Naperville played earlier today. I'm not sure if you heard a result on that one or not, but still 2 points out from, depending on that result coming in. So it sounds like you guys still have a decent chance to still get into that top 6 in the NIHL. Well, we've got 2 really good opponents still left on our schedule. We got 2 games against the Hawks, both on the road, and you know, the Hawks have never been an easy out for us, no matter what the age group, no matter what the division. So you know, we're looking at a battle for them, and you know, we've got a tough game with Skokie. So there are no easy games in NIHL. I mean, we saw yesterday when we played Evanston, if we don't show up, even the last place team can pull a surprise or 2. These guys beat Glenview last night, a team that we just have absolutely struggled with in the last couple of years. And you know, it shows that this league is very competitive. It's very balanced, and anybody can beat anybody on a given night if you don't bring your A game. And today we might not have brought our A game. We got a point, but we have to bring our A game to every time that we show up to the rink. Now talk about, this was your last home game. Talk about the remaining schedule. You guys are going to be on the road, so most of the time you guys are always traveling out to Chicago. Now what challenges will approach you guys now that you guys are playing the rest on the road? Well, definitely that matchup against the Hawks and Darien. It just depends. You know, it's a tough building to play in. But we've had some success against the Hawks in years past. So, you know, if we show up and we're ready to go, and we can play all 3 periods, you know, it bodes well for us. But the game that I'm really looking forward to is that game against Skokie on the road. We play them on Super Bowl Sunday, bright and early in the morning. There have been some times where we're just not a morning team, and there are some times when, you know, we look like world beaters in the morning. So obviously we have to beat the Hawks. I mean, that's a no-brainer. We cannot look past them, but we've got to have revenge on our mind when we go to the Skokie Stadium, and we can't bother letting the refs try to beat us or anything like that. We have to concentrate on our own game, and when we do, we're a really dangerous team, and we still have faith in these kids that they can put the puck in the net. I mean, we had plenty of good efforts that Jessen, Traxler, and Taylor line really moved the puck well, and the Uchuk, Dames, Neville line, it was a makeshift line that we put together just before the start of the game. We got 2 young kids playing with a veteran and Jack Uchuk, and you know, it took them a while to get some chemistry going, but when they did, they could actually move the puck and create some scoring opportunities. So we've got, the good thing is we got 9 kids that can put the puck in the net up front, and you know, we're going to be a tough team to play against. And if we end up not making the playoffs, let's at least be a spoiler for one of these 2 teams that we're going up against.
Now, just talking about your schedule ahead, when is your next game then?
Well, we are going to play Darien, the Hawks, in Darien next Saturday at 3:10 p.m. And then we follow that game up with Skokie on the 3rd at 9:15. And our last game, we go back out to Darien on the 9th at 3:10 Central Time. So a lot of travel. We're going to know all the Chicago arenas. We're going to know all the Portillos. So we're going to play as hard as we can in some of the facilities in the Chicagoland area, and hopefully we'll come away with some victories.
All right. Well, JP, thanks for joining us here on the post game. Again, a 3-3 tie here for the Rovers, and the best of luck on the rest of the season for you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Nick.
3-3 your score here at the Compton Family Ice Arena. The Rovers come away with that tie against the Skokie Flyers. And any final thoughts here for today, Christian?
No, I mean, we just witnessed a very spectacular hockey game. Both teams, they're at that age right now where everything is a learning process for them. And if they keep on going, all these players that we saw this afternoon, Nick, are going to have very bright futures in the game of hockey. And if they keep at it, great things can happen to those kids that are patient. And if they go into a hockey game from here on out with that mindset, they're going to be very successful.
For my partner, Christian Jobert, I'm Nick Duranick, and this has been a special presentation of the South Bend Rovers U12 hockey here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. We appreciate everyone that tuned in to watch this broadcast as well, and we hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.